Let's now shift our attention to the other big story that we are tracking in WION, and this, of course, has got to do with what is unfolding in the United States of America. This has been dubbed as one of the most momentous trials in American history, the United States of America versus Donald J. Trump, where the former American president has been charged with trying to overturn his 2020 electoral defeat in a failed bid to keep himself in power. Now, the former president has now pleaded not guilty in that case. This plea means that the 77-year-old Donald Trump, the front-runner for the 2024 Republican nomination, will not appear in person at the Fulton County Court in Atlanta next week to face the charges. The Fulton County District Attorney charged Donald Trump with 13 felony counts, including racketeering for pressurizing the state officials to reverse his 2020 election loss and allegedly setting up a fake slate of electors to undermine the congressional certification of Democratic President Joe Biden's victory. Now, the former U.S. president was not the only person who's been charged in the case. Along with him, there were at least about 18 others who were charged earlier in the month in a 41-count indictment that outlines an alleged scheme to subvert the will of Georgian voters, who had in fact chosen the Democrat Joe Biden over the Republican incumbent in the presidential elections. Moreover, Donald Trump had previously traveled to Georgia on the 24th of August, where he had turned himself in at the Fulton County prison, becoming the first former president to have a mugshot taken inside the prison. Now, the latest charges mark Trump's fourth indictment since launching his re-election campaign for president, which includes paying hush money to a porn star, attempting to overturn the 2020 election, and also unlawfully keeping classified documents. All right, now to give us more perspective on this, we're being joined in by our correspondent Susan Tehrani, who's joining us live from New York. Susan, this, of course, is a case that's going to be followed very closely within the United States and indeed in the rest of the world. Tell us as to what is expected here.
Yeah, as you mentioned, this was the fourth time that Donald Trump put that signature on court filings, pleading not guilty to criminal charges. Of course, the first being New York, Florida, and Washington, D.C., those three, and now Georgia as well. Nonetheless, it doesn't take away from the seriousness of this case, considering the fact that you mentioned not only is it racketeering charges, but then you have a 41 counts of Fulton County indictment and then 18 co-defendants as well, which the court alleges that Donald Trump attempted to reverse the 2020 elections. And while this is very serious for the former president and a difficult case for his lawyers, it's also very difficult to prove such a case as well. So this government will also have a hard time trying to prove that Donald Trump, for example, indeed knew and believed that Joe Biden won, but he went ahead with this anyway. I mean, we don't know that. So that's going to be very hard. Intent is going to be very hard to prove as well. But a case, nonetheless, as you mentioned, that the country is watching very closely, as they are the other three cases against the former president.
Absolutely, indeed. Thank you very much indeed, Susan Tehrani, for joining us and getting us all those details there. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.